Episode 401, Blind Magic in Alice Springs. Yes, that's what you're tuned into. And this is your host, Murray Stewart. Well, what a weekend it's been in Australia. They came and they did not conquer. That is the team, or the teams from Brisbane, both in the AFL and the Rugby League. No, they did not conquer. It was always going to be difficult to go to Melbourne after all, taking on the might of Collingwood in the AFL. 100,024 people. 100,024. And I guarantee you, 95% of them would have been mad Collingwood people. I think ultimately that's probably what got them across the line, because Brisbane were very, very gallant in defeat. Some of those goals, wow. Some of those goals were some of the best grand final goals of all time. Magnificent stuff. And some of them came from the boot of Brisbane Lions players. So congratulations to all involved. And wow, Kiss, how good was that? They were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. They haven't lost a thing. They haven't. They must be well into their 60s, possibly even early 70s, some of those Kiss members. Certainly brought people like me right back to our teenagehood. Really, really good entertainment. And the Rugby League on Sunday, yesterday, that was also fantastic. It was wonderful. The Broncos taking on the might of Penrith. They almost did it, didn't they? If it wasn't for young Cleary from the halfback, the brilliant superstar halfback. What a great effort for him, and also his dad, who's the coach, of course, of the Penrith Panthers. Father and son doing it together. They will have that as a memory for the rest of their life. A beautiful, beautiful rugby league story. Talking about stories, a story for me came to an end yesterday as I decided to make the very difficult decision to finally step away from athletics, something that I've been a part of for many years here in Central Australia, Alice Springs. And why did I do it? Well, yesterday, as pronounced in episode 400, it not only was episode 400, but it was also 12 months since my heart attack and my subsequent diagnosis with a brain injury. So it was a time for reflection. I had some big ideas that I really wanted to implement with the Alice Springs Athletics Club, but they were not of a mind to take up those ideas, and that is their right. I mean, after all, I did step aside as president and as head coach for health reasons, so they needed to fill that gap, and they have. And they've subsequently decided on a new direction. So, as I did carve out a direction for the club, as head coach and as president over the past 13 years, now it's up to them, the new committee, to carve out a direction for the club. I'm extremely proud of what we achieved together. Without doubt, the Alice Springs Athletics Club did become, over that time, the most successful club in Northern Territory athletics history. 2 age champions, 2 Australian age champions, and also Emerson Pomfret became the middle distance king for his age in the Northern Territory. even winning the Junior Mitchell Street Mile, the much heralded Mitchell Street Mile, and he won it against a legend of running, Darren Peacock. It was an incredible performance by him. I put a couple of other proposals to the club, which in their wisdom they have not decided to take up at this stage. So I had to make some decisions. And I made a decision to step back so I can move forward. I need to spend time on my new business with my podcasting and also my workshops. I need to spend time with my family. And I also need to spend time with myself and getting my health back to as close to 100% as possible. That requires commitment. It requires dedication and a concentrated effort. So I have had to make a difficult but absolutely correct decision to step aside, and particularly if the club is not inclined toward the direction that I put to them, because that would take real effort to work in the context of a changed circumstance. It would mean that I would have to undergo a massive adjustment to the way in which I go about my business, and I'm not sure that I have the energy to do that at the moment. My energy needs to be directed toward other things. But I wish them so much goodwill. I wish them so much success. It's not going to be easy to take on a new direction and the direction of which they are proposing and make it work and build a brand new era. It won't be easy, but I wish them so much success. Most importantly, I want those young, wonderful, wonderful kids to flourish as athletes and as young men and as young women, because sport is such a great teacher. It really is. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about today in this episode 401 is I remember way back there was an episode, I think it went something like poor, brain injured, blind but happy. And I was reminded today that something I've always known, hence why I ended the title of that particular episode by saying I was happy. I always look for the silver lining on every cloud. Because in actual fact, in this country, if you are disabled, we are so, so lucky. The safety net for people with disabilities is incredible. With the National Disability Insurance Scheme, with the various disability pensions and concessions, you never are truly poor. You never are truly poor. So upon reflection, poor was probably the wrong word to use. Maybe challenged, but not poor. And the only reason why I have been challenged is because I have had to take long periods away from my other job, which of course is as a myotherapist. So it has been challenging, but I've never been poor in the truest sense. If you think about it in the context of the third world, none of us are ever poor here in Australia. Truly we're not. We are so lucky. We do live in the best country on earth, without a doubt. What we afford people with disabilities and others who are disadvantaged is absolutely amazing. And whilst I would have chosen another title had I had my time over again for that episode, I really have been at pains through all of these episodes to be extremely positive about the country of which I live in and what we are afforded. We have got a tremendous platform for recovery. We have got a tremendous platform for advancement. We have got a tremendous platform for equality. We do. We absolutely do. And I, for one, am not complaining. And I will not complain. I will simply now move forward, advance my life, and I'm hoping that my advancement will contribute to the world around me through my podcasts, through my workshops, which are building brilliant and efficient hands, which are building a culture where families can look after one another. That's what my massage courses are about. Which are building a culture where no one should be violent toward one another. No one. Your hands are for healing, not harming. Your hands are for nurturing, not hating. Your hands are for loving. And that's what my Level 1 and Level 2 courses are all about. And the Level 1A course, as I said, the Healthy Hands Workshop, will build the hands that can ensure that your life is economically prosperous so you can look after your family. And you can look after yourself. So yeah, contact me at any time, won't you? You can email me at bridgeovermurray@bigpond.com, bridgeovermurray@bigpond.com, or you can go to the Blind Magic Communications Facebook page here in Alice Springs, Blind Magic Communications Facebook page. Very soon I'm hoping to have a website where I can put all of my workshops together. Very soon I'll be adding the Level 2 massage course and also a puppy massage course. My beautiful Sainter will be the model for that puppy massage course. And that'll be aimed at special people who have a special puppy in their life, a special dog who they need to look after the way in which that dog looks after them. And so we'll make sure that we put together a very special price for that so it's accessible to most, if not everybody, who needs to look after their beautiful, beautiful number one pet. Talking of which, my Sainter yesterday, he had a bit of a shave. He looks a very, very different dog. For those who have seen him on Blind Magic Communications Facebook page, he's a very fluffy dog, but he has been shorn right back in readiness for the hot summer here in Central Australia, Alice Springs. Yeah, I'll pop up a photograph or a video of him, probably a photograph, today on Blind Magic Communications. How about that? Chris is here with me. G'day, Chris. I'm sure you can organise that, can't you, mate?
Oh, of course I can.
Member of my support team. So we'll get a photograph up on Blind Magic Communications if we can, mate. The new Sainter. He looks very different, doesn't he?
He looks like a cross between I'm not sure what he looks like a cross between. Let's just say he still looks handsome.
Well, yes. He came back and I thought, where's my little man gone? He now looks very feminine. But you wouldn't say feminine, would you? He's more, what would you say, lean and mean? Or not so much mean, but yeah,
He's had
lean.
a crew cut. That's not army style, so it's definitely crew cut.
Well, he'll certainly be cool in all sorts of ways.
He's a very cool dog.
Hey, thank you, Chris, for being a part of, this is Kiwi Chris. Of course, I've had him on a couple of times talking about cycling and other matters. Thanks, mate, for being a part of these episodes.
My pleasure, mate.
And this has been episode 401, a Blind Mandy Communications production.